I'm gonna be honest with you, and I say this on my radio show.
You know when it is says, I'm gonna be honest with you, he lying. It's a clean indicator. They put it on his mama, he lying. Nigga talk, he lying. He breathing, lying. Don't believe nothing.
Finally, Kso has come back with another reaction. And today we are reacting to Nick Cannon coming out and speaking to Fat Joe about his beef with Eminem. Now, this has been a long, dragging series, and with everything that has happened, it's been entertaining. I'm not gonna act like it hasn't been, but with everything that's been happening with Nick Cannon and missing out on Wildin' Out and all that kind of, them checks ain't coming in, he ain't running it. I want to see what his temperament's like. I want to see what the energy is like in the room, because I ain't gonna kick Nick when he's down, man. Nick Cannon is a cool dude. He is funny, just goofy, corny as hell, but it's Nick Cannon. But before I break it down, hit that thumbs up button if you're new to the channel. Hey, how are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. It really helped the channel. And if you don't, your granny is a dirty, stinking little. We popping off.
And they love Nick Cannon.
Yeah, now to make it out of the projects that I made it out of, I mean, we all come from it. So it was an example of, yo, you don't have to get caught up in it, and
hold on,
dodging drive-bys on the way to school, losing homies, like all that stuff. Even once I got in high school, I just wanted to leave that life alone. So
okay, so this is what we can say, just because somebody does entertain us, and we've been watching Nick Cannon for what's been like a dub, 20 years, we don't really know all about his history, where he comes from. I guess Nick Cannon's from the projects. He definitely been, you know what project things come with those kind of areas, that are just. I ain't even about to go into that long diatribe about how the man's keeping people down, but I guess I feel you, Nick. So okay, we understand why Nick Cannon be so corny and so Nick Cannon-y. Let's get it.
When I saw them opportunities of like getting on stage and telling jokes and being a kid on Nickelodeon, I had already lived a life, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, I square up immediately. I saw
Nick Cannon was a street. Oh my God.
that as a blessing from God, to where it's like, yo, I could leave the streets alone. I could, be able to pay my mom's rent and take care of my family and all that.
That's real.
Be silly and tell jokes.
Right now, some of the most respected guys I know.
Yeah.
Love Nick Cannon, and they say, yo.
And that's Joey Crack saying that. That's what I love cosign. All right, so maybe Nick Cannon is the one, not the two. He has Suge on the song. Suge's a goofy too, but if Joey Crack is telling you that some of the biggest hitters, the most respectable stand-up dudes respect Nick Cannon, maybe Nick Cannon the one, not the two. Who knows? Nick Cannon about to pull up with the sticks.
He from the cloth. He from the family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and it's a way of life, man. We come from it when you got guys that consider.
All right, so nobody else finds it's just completely hilarious that Nick Cannon is a street nigga this whole time. It be the ones you never expect, bro. I heard about MC Hammer running down on Redman. I would have never guessed Hammer Pants was the one, not the two, but all indications, all reports show MC Hammer was the one. So maybe Nick Cannon stay with them dudes.
You family, and we know what these organizations were originated from, because it was about protecting our communities, and I was one of those kids that people wanted to protect. So the OGs in my neighborhood, they knew I was affiliated and certified, so I didn't have to.
Hold on, Nick Cannon gangbanging, bro. This is blowing my mind. This nigga Nick Cannon be gangbanging. Hold on, okay,
to nobody. So even when
see
I got
big slime,
I was never talking that rah-rahness. I was trying to be the most clean cut, squared in a box of Apple Jacks cat I could be. So like when people would call me corny and all that, I loved it. I was like, absolutely.
All right, that was a little cringy right there. That was a little cringy. I get it. I do get, like, all right, I came from this special cloth, and I came from this certain cloth, and I don't necessarily want that to continue being my reality, so I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna change the style, and I'm gonna come with a whole different direction y'all wasn't really ready for. Like, I'm gonna be positive, smiley, funny dude. That's cool too. And I also understand people like, I come from this cloth, and I want people to know what the reality of some people in America and in this world is, and I respect that too. the whole, but I'm gonna be a goofy. I don't know. It just they call himself a goofy, a clown, corny, all that. It ain't ever gonna resonate well with me.
That's gonna keep the police off me. I'll be that.
You know what happened? Yo, Nick,
Come on, Nick
what
Cannon.
happened to me was, and we can talk about it. You get into this little rap beef with Eminem.
Oh, we getting into it.
Again.
Yo, Nick, you get into the rap. He dissed you on my song, but you know they broke it down to me that y'all had been dissing each other forever. I didn't even know. And
Right.
Fat Joe slick for that. You see how? Hold on. You see how Fat Joe pivoted? He just leaned off his shoulder. He getting all the little blame off. He like, Nick, we cool, man. It had nothing to do with me. Like I didn't hear the song before it came out.
hit me up and say, yo, Joe, and I'm like, Nick Cannon, and that's my man, and they cool. And then when I made
You had no idea.
When I made a couple of phone calls, and the homies was like, no, Nick Cannon certified, he with us. I'm like, what? I said, for real? And I'm like, and what is the beef with Eminem?
Hold on. Another really dope thing about this is there's nothing that for me that beats when you have a staple of hip hop, like an actual rapper or a person who's really entrenched in hip hop doing the interview with another rapper, especially that other rapper. And I just called Nick Cannon a rapper, but I guess he is technically, but there's a respect that they both have for each other. There's an understanding they both have for each other. They're not trying to play each other out. They get it. They're going to get the questions they want. Like, Nori does it when he's not trying to talk over everybody. Taxstone is good. He's not even a rapper, but Nori, Joe Budden's good at it. I ain't going to lie. Joe Budden do be interesting, but he knows how to speak to people with that certain, we both have the respect that we come from the same cloth with the same type of career. I love that. I love that that's where interviews and stuff is transitioning to, because things like the Breakfast Club and staples of interviews, Hot 97 been dead, but they're really dying out in my heart. They're not as interesting. I guess Vlad, but this is what I like. This is what I want, and I want interviews to just keep being played out like this. But let's get to the beef.
What is the beef? You in the big show. Let's keep it real, man. What's the beef?
What's the problem?
Eminem.
I'm talking to Joe, bro. I gotta go in. I gotta
We're a Joker show, bro. This is a Joker moment.
Nah, real facts. This is my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, and you know I say this on my radio show.
You know when it says I'm gonna be honest with you. He lying. It's a clean indicator. They put it on his mama. He lying. Nigga talk. He lying. He breathing lying. Don't believe nothing.
Power 106 all the time. Like, man, I've always been an Eminem fan. You know, the artist is
okay.
Is somebody that I feel like is super skilled. You
Facts.
know, he's good for the culture, been good for the culture,
Facts.
been good to the culture.
Facts.
But I think as a man, where he and I went left, I don't really know what.
So, with you acknowledging Eminem, and this was another problem I had with the Nick Cannon drumline diss track on M's. If you have acknowledged that M is for the culture, he's been good to the culture since he's been in it. He is a staple of our culture. You know, he is, although he is the white boy, he's our white boy. You know what I'm saying? He's for us. He is one of us. We appreciate him. Why, when you was dissing him, you was coming with the culture vulture bars? Why was you coming with the appropriation bars? That just makes it very disingenuous, because there is people really appropriating our culture. There is the Ariana Grandes. There is the Iggy's. There is, to an extent, the Macklemores. Let's talk about it. J. Cole, I ain't forget your bar. They was hot. The Elvis Presleys, too. But let's save these very important things. Like, let's save that and not water down our arguments in sake of making a whack diss track. Because these are serious problems that Queso definitely feels and bothers me too. But don't waste it on M. If you have acknowledged right now, you coming clean, this is the expose, you coming clean. But if you've acknowledged Eminem isn't taking from the culture, why did you play it like that in the diss? You know what I'm saying? It's just goofy. But it's Nick Cannon.
He and my ex-wife had going on. I think she got
Mariah.
a book coming out, and she talking about it in there.
No way. Yo,
Yeah,
Mariah
so
got a book talking about it?
Yeah. Mariah got she doing an exclusive, memoir talking.
Nigga, I ain't reading no Mariah Carey book.
Hey, yo,
Yeah, so
hey, yo,
but
hey,
that was
yo,
none of
yo.
my business. You know what I mean? you know how we do. We
Hey, yo,
don't
Nick,
never
you
hate
finally
them.
gonna tell
So
us side of the story?
This nigga Joe Budden was,
yeah,
I mean,
so but like
Joey
I said,
Crack
that
was trying to
before
talk.
me. We got married in 2008, and you know, up until then, I had been nothing but a Mariah and fan. I
Yeah.
was just excited to be with Mariah Carey.
I feel that. I feel that.
I wasn't even aware that they had interaction. I don't know if they dated or how things go in this industry. But she was telling me, like, dude was just super disrespectful. And I was like, all right, well, as a husband, like, I got to
I feel that, and I gotta protect
protect my wife.
Okay, yeah, and I feel that. I'm not mad at that at all. It was, yeah, you was on some honorable shit. And Eminem was talking wild about your wife. It's Em, we know how he coming, but you should have made that more of the beef. You was making, I mean, you did say that and stuff, but you should have made that the selling point. But instead, you was trying to just attack the guy for being white, which is, I understand it, but that wasn't the approach. I understand this, and I think, and no matter how big of Eminem fans we all can understand a man wanting to protect his wife. That's what you should do. That's what you're supposed to do, and vice versa. Your wife should come up for your nigga, stick up for your nigga. But you didn't play it like this. So what? Years later, interview with Joey Crack, you decided now to be real with it. It's like you did right, but did it in all the wrong ways. You know what I'm saying? And your shit was so whack.
And then, but we didn't even really think nothing of it. And then all of a sudden, dude came out with a crazy record, like just blatantly just disrespecting, like using terms like that, we don't stand for as men, like talking about my wife, and then called my name. So I was like,
Eminem had no chill. He had no chill. How you gonna diss this nigga, the wife, and then diss him, bro? You was off the chain for that.
At the time, I'm managed by, Chris Lighty, you know what I'm saying? One of my brothers, God rest his soul.
R.I.P. to Lighty.
And, he got the connection with,
50
he was managing Fifth at the time.
Yeah.
And, I think him and him manager was super cool, Paul. So he was like, yo, Nick want to holler at your guy, because this is, I'll get all the jokes in the room. I'm Mr. Wildin' Out. We can make jokes all day long, but
R.I.P. to Wildin' Out. So there was a connection there. There was a reach out. I do understand for being like, man, I ain't about to talk to no goddamn Nick Cannon, because there do be certain dudes, like, you might have an issue with them or whatever, but they're just such clowns. You have so little respect for them. I'm not even going to entertain a convo with you, so I do get it. And you did acknowledge that you are a complete goofy, Nick Cannon, but I'm rocking with you, Nick. Bring back Wildin' Out.
A certain point where, one, you start lying, and then two, you start blatant, like calling my wife out her name, all kind of whores and cunts and all of this craziness. You gotta see me. We gotta talk about this man to man.
Okay, Nick.
Really just looking, especially then, we wasn't even about no music. I wasn't trying to rap or nothing. Like,
okay, that's there, then, and see, do you see? If you would have kept this same energy, I would have supported you. And y'all know I'm an M fan, and I'm being real with you. If you would have kept this same energy, if you wouldn't have tried to make it a publicity stunt for Wildin' Out, because that's what it was. You know it was. You put Charlie Clips on them on the diss track. I think he had conceited on that mug. Come on, should have got Justina or whatever. But if you would have just had this energy, bro, who would have been mad at him? The dude dissed him and his wife, and now he wants to touch him. Nobody would have been mad about that. But then you started, this is time for the inauguration. Y'all remember that, Bush? I got a reaction to it. Go check it out after this.
I wanted to have a real man-to-man conversation. And it was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. He doesn't want to talk. And I was like, how you just going to say some wild shit and then you don't want to talk to me?
It's up.
Like, now that's even triple disrespectful.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? So that's where it kind of kicked off, because I was trying to handle it like a man and get to it. And then, at the time, I think they kept putting records out back and forth. Mariah put out the Obsessed joint where she was him in the video. Shit went like triple platinum.
Mariah got a hit off that shit.
Yeah. Joint went to #1.
He came back for that motherfucker shit. That was like an R&B diss record.
Yeah, we reacted to Mariah Carey Obsessed soon, bro. Just keep, it's coming.
So that was like, she really needed, she might need to do nothing else with it. And You know, like she's the queen, she the GOAT on her own. So I ain't even have to,
Yeah.
I was just cheerleading from the sideline, and then dude just kept going. He kept getting more disrespectful, but wouldn't, I BET Awards, different award show. I move how I move. So I was walking up like, yo, let's just have this man-to-man conversation. And it never happened.
Okay, so with that's one of them, the niggas be lying. That's one of them moments. So when you say that, you worded that in a way that would make me, just hearing it, believe that you walked up straight on Eminem. You walked up to him to have this convo. But what I actually feel like you were saying was you guys were around each other and the conversation never happened. And this sounds similar, but it's very different. You walking down on somebody, no, that's gangsta. I feel that. You just being around somebody and being like, oh, your people talk to my people, should we link? It's not as gangster, you feel me? So he going for the big bad wolf vibe, but I feel like that wasn't what really happened. I'm just...
Then, time went on, cooler heads prevailed, we got later on, we start to joke about it. I'm trying to invite him to Wild 'N Out. I figure at this point, like, bygones is bygones, decades have passed.
Yeah.
And I mean, he just kept belaboring it. I think even it was another conversation. I think Tips, pause, I was on T.I.'s podcast.
Yeah, pause.
And he brought it up. You know what I mean? And we were just talking about, like, we know T.I. got hands. We all come from cats who fight. So
Yeah.
I think I might have said something slick like, that dude ain't no fighter. You know what I mean? Like, just talking, we joking around.
Okay, real question. Do you think Nick Cannon could whoop Eminem on a one-on-one? Nick Cannon sort of fit now.
That might have been what kind of, because it was during the same time that Joe record came out. So I think he might have maybe caught wind or something like that. Because I don't know why he would be talking about some stuff from like 10 years.
Oh, see, that's a gem. See, you waited to the end to give us a gem. That's why M dissed him again on Rise Above. What's that? The Joe Budden. I keep calling him Joe Budden. Joey Crack, Fat Joe. What's it like? I can't remember who's all on the song, but M, where he really snapped on Nick. I reacted to that too. Go check it out. It's doing pretty good. But that's where it all comes from. That was a good gem. That was a good little tidbit of information that gave context, because it did seem like just randomly out of the blue, Eminem dissed him, and then Nick went on his radio show and dissed him, and then the next thing you know, it's time for the inauguration. Nigga. Like, I don't know where it came from.
And, I saw it as an opportunity to promote Wild 'N Out.
He being real. That's what I said, too.
He went at me, I went at him. I put my guys, the battle rappers from Wild 'N Out there, and, the ratings went up. So, we're still waiting.
I feel him. All right, Nick. You did some good talking there. I feel like you was lying at points. I feel like points you were very, very genuine. We get it now. It's been that simmering beef, and that's what we all sort of assumed. All about Mariah, and Em and Nick have just caught in the middle of this, entanglement. Here come my music video. I love reacting to these interviews. It gives me a break from music. They be longer, but it's a lot of good information in them. And as a hip hop fan, them things just be dope. I'm out. Music video right here. Click it. Click on the music video. And right here, click it.